Hi guys. So I'm just back from my run and I was thinking, do you know what? I'm doing my stretches anyway. So I'm just going to go through a few stretches that you can do after your run, after your walk, whichever. And it might be just nice because normally we wouldn't do them on the mat because usually you're at the side of your car. But as most of us are staying within that 2K restriction around our house, you're coming back into your house. So it might be nice for a change just to mix it up and do some stretches on the ground as opposed to standing by the bonnet of your car and doing them that way. So when I come in for my run from home, if I give myself the time, the first thing I like to do is to just do a leg drain. Simple as just keep the knees bent, obviously for anyone who really feels caught here, just doesn't feel comfortable, you know, and just lengthen, just relax your shoulders. And just, I would do this for, you know, a minute or so, depending, you know, and while I'm doing that, I would focus on things like ankle mobility. So as runners, we need to have relaxed ankles, loose, light, supple joints, you know, particularly the ankle joint, because if the ankle is tight, you know, the oncoming road can run up into the shin, into the calf. So, you know, always give yourself this. So this is a perfect opportunity to do it, as well as loosen up the ankles on your run, which I would do for my chi running looseners. But it's always nice to do it afterwards as well, you know, just drain the legs and just focus. And this will also start a little stretch into the calves as well. Okay, so I could do that for longer now, but I won't since I'm recording. So we're going to just do just a gentle stretch through. Again, bending the knees a little bit. There's no need to lock out the knees. We're going to just come into the calves. Just hold the foot up and just getting that nice stretch through. So ideally you'd hold these for 20-30 seconds. You know, you can, as always, and I don't think people realise this, you know, from my point of view, often I would go in and have a shower first and then come out and do my stretches so I feel more comfortable. You're not all kind of sweaty and all you're thinking about is having the shower. So you could go in. So this is just pushing the heel up to the ceiling and pointing the toe down towards you. Okay, until you're feeling, you know, the stretch coming into the calf, okay, into the calf muscles. So it's said, yeah, you could have your shower first and then come back out and then throw yourself on the ground and do these. That's it. Okay. So glute stretch next, one foot on the opposite knee, arms down by your sides, take an inhale, and the exhale, just take your foot off the ground. Now this, you know, sometimes you see people doing this and you're up like this, that's fine, you can do it that way, but I find then you're just going to focus possibly on tension in the upper body, so I prefer to do it like this, like let the knee push off the foot, so you'll feel your stretch here on this side from hamstrings into the glutes, and that should be sufficient. So just keep the pressure on, pressing the knee into the foot, you know, because you want to calm your breathing after your run, you want to stay focused on a nice rhythmic breath, you know, so calming the body down. I'm talking, but I would recommend just close your mouth. Total nasal breathing is a great way just to relax the body down. That's it. And then switch. So one foot up, exhale up. So the advantage of all these running from home now is you mightn't bother doing a glute stretch. You know, if you're again on the side of the road and you just do your calves, your hamstrings, your quads, and maybe a spine stretch, but you don't give yourself the opportunity to give the glutes a good stretch. So anyway, that's one advantage, I think. That's it. So we're holding these 20-30 seconds, you know, feel free to hold them longer, to hold them, you know, a little bit longer, not too much longer. That's it. Okay, so to come up, I'm going to bring myself up. So for the hamstrings, again, depending on your mobility, how it feels to straighten out, you can just lengthen up the spine. And gently just reach yourself forward. If you don't reach your toes, don't be going crazy. You know, this myth that the most important thing in the world is you can touch your toes. It doesn't matter. If you're up here, it doesn't matter. Just flex your feet, draw your toes towards you, and just leaning down. You know, just stretching down, and that will get the stretch into the hamstrings. That's it. Okay, so then you can draw one leg up and reach over again towards the foot. So what we're doing here is we're doubling up. I do like to double up, so I'm getting my stretch here into my calves and my hamstrings, and I'm also then getting my quads stretched here. Okay, so just tuck your foot in. Make sure it's not pulling on the knee. If it's pulling on the knee, just put your foot out further. Again, it all depends on your own mobility, you know, where you can put yourself. So don't force any of these. You could also grab a band, like I have one here, that I got in Elfin Sports in Carrick and Shure. And you could, you know, if you don't reach, you could draw through like this. And then switch, draw the foot in. So we're stretching through the quad, just make sure it's not pulling on your knee, and then reaching forward, getting the stretch up the back of that leg. And as I said, you know, you can pop the band on and draw the leg towards you. Just make sure you're not doing things like this, tensing your shoulders, sink them down. Just that awareness of reducing tension in the body. That's it. And again, we're holding. I obviously have no watch on me, so I don't know. I'm aiming to hold between 20-30 seconds. That's it. Okay. So coming up, little crouch. I love this little crouch. Drawing the knees in. Great way just to come in here, the lower calves into the heels, allow the heels sink. I mean, don't worry about putting the feet on the ground. Just stay up on the balls of your feet. Again, relax the rest of the body. Just allow the heels to sink. Go wide with the legs if it feels more comfortable. Otherwise, draw in. Breathe into it. So I said at this point, if I was doing this, I would have a mouth closed. I would be focusing on total nasal breathing. Because once you get used to it, it does just calm the body down. Okay, so from here, again, I'm only doing these all together. I wouldn't necessarily, ideally, I do all these together, but after my run, but I won't lie to you, I wouldn't always, but just as I'm videoing it now, I'm going to just show you the kind of most important stretches. So, ankle, knees, hips are tracked with the shoulder, reach the crown of the head up, relax your shoulders down, knee down from hip. So we're going to sink forward. So I want you to imagine that you're tilting your pelvis, like so it's like a little bowl and you're tipping it forward, sinking through, as if your tailbone is going that way, ever so slightly. So getting that stretch through into the quads, into the hip flexors, up into the psoas muscles. And then if you want to increase this stretch, just make sure you're balanced and comfortable. You can hold on to something if you need to, is to reach back, so into this kind of mermaid stretch, lengthen through. Abs strong. Now if this is causing any kind of niggles or anything in the lower back, you obviously adapt, or just don't lean back too far. That's it. And again, breathing through it. So this will get into the core muscles as well. That's it, sinking. So with each exhale, just sink into the stretch. That's it. And then we switch. Popping up. Again, align, take the moment to do that. Inhale, tilting the pelvis slightly forward. Lengthen out. You can do it like this and not add that mermaid stretch into it. So feel that nice stretch coming through quads and along all the way up into those psoas muscles. Reaching back, breathing into it. So each exhale, sink into the stretch a little bit more. That's it. Job. Lengthen the back of your neck, lengthen your spine. Good. That's it. And back. Another fantastic stretch you can do is, smother myself here, lengthen up, sink your heels up into a pike, draw the abs in, soften your shoulders, stretch out the spine, sink your heels down. So this will stretch obviously the whole back line of the body. Then bring forward the option of adding this stretch, which would be the yoga pigeon pose. And then back. So you could just stay up if you want to go straight into, which would again, quads, hip flexors, here, lengthen up, draw the tummy muscles in. Make sure you're not feeling any twinges or niggles on your back. Lengthen, active spine, string drawing you up, lengthen the back of your neck. relax your shoulders down. And you can rest, as this is recovery after your run. You could add in, you know, just this, just basically relaxing into your stretch. Soften the shoulders with each exhale. You could lay out and just focus on with each exhalation, just softening through the body. That's it. Okay. Drop up, stretch through, draw the tummy muscles gently in. It's all about that length. Think of that string pulling you up towards the ceiling, and then switch. So we'll start with the pike, exhale up, stretch through the spine, sink the heels towards the ground, soften your shoulders. That's it. And then bringing the other leg forward, sliding back. And again, get that length first, so you could, as I said, just do this. And the more this foot comes out, the stronger the stretches. So again, I leave that to you. Just, you know, you might, again, see how the knees are for this as well. So just adapt accordingly, lengthen through, draw the tummy muscles in. And then you can drop down, pop your hands onto your, very far onto your hands even. Breathe into the rib cage. And then breathe out. Getting a nice stretch through into the glutes. Always have that subtle feeling of drawing the belly button back into the spine. That's it. So on the exhale, we draw ourselves up, lengthen up. Draw the tummies gently in. Mind the backs, lengthen. Stretch through that back leg. Final option for the quads. Won't be for everybody. And again, you could use the band, pop it onto the foot, and draw the foot back. Again, often it's the knees you have to watch, because often if your knees are at you, it could be just these muscles are tight. So just be careful. That's the option, the band. Right. So you can draw back like this. Or you can do that on your side as well. You know, you can, it might be easier on your side. Draw those, feeling whenever you're in this position, you should have the sensation of just gently drawing the belly button back to the spine. Draw the tummies in. And keeping the knee in line with the hips. Once again, the knee will let you do that. So the sensation, as I said, of that gentle engagement of the abs. Great for your shoulders as well. You could, of course, double up and just pull through. Just relax your neck. Okay. Okay, guys. So, yeah, so just a few variations of stretches. You obviously don't have to do all of those. Once you get the main muscles, you know, the calves, where am I going? Right, the calves, the hamstrings, the quads, the glutes. Other than that, just a nice spine stretch as well. They're the most important muscles, so you could pick and choose on what I did there, but just make sure you get the main big groups. And just bring it into your routine, because I know there are so many runners who may not do stretches at all, or may only just pull the leg up there for 5 seconds. So it's worth your while, you know, as I said, even after the shower. Just, you know, we have this time, we're at home more now, so unless of course you're flat out working. But for anyone who is at home, you know, keep this video in mind, just maybe save it, and just for future reference, just dip in and out of it if you want to be reminded of any of the stretches. Okay guys, have a great weekend, take care, talk to you soon.